My name is Dwaydo Newberry. I'm a collegiate athlete here for basketball. My major is computer science. I'm from London, England.
My name is Molly Kirkwood. I'm a third year here at the University of San Francisco, majoring in politics, minoring in sociology. I'm a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I'm very heavily involved on campus.
Interesting. Well, this is a topic I haven't really had to discuss, especially from my background in England, London. It's not really a pressing issue, racism, at least where I'm from. Do I feel accepted as a black person? I definitely think so, especially with the black communities here at USF.
I wouldn't say that I feel fully accepted. I do feel accepted in like certain spaces, but there's been times where I'd be in spaces and I feel like, you know, people don't know how to receive me or don't know how to interact with me. And for a long time I thought it was like, oh, it's the West Coast, like, you know, people here like are just a little bit different, because like I'm from the South. So like I talk to everybody, hey, how you doing? How are you? Like I have different mannerism, like, you know, that I just, from how I was raised. So when I would walk into spaces and I'd be in places and people wouldn't even, you know, speak to me or try to make conversation with me or talk about my hobbies or talk about my interests. And I think it's because, you know, they may not know how to interact with a black person, or they may not try, or I don't know.
I feel like at first it was just like, oh, I'm at a PWI and I feel like so alone. But over time I realized that there's a lot of people feeling just like me.
I think I would kind of lean like a maybe. There are times when I feel like, oh, I totally fit in like, you know, where I'm at. And then there's times where I'm like, I don't know that this is correct.
Noticeably, when I walk around campus or I bump into one of my professors, they always ask like, how's the game, how's practice, all that stuff, or you played well in that one game. So I'm definitely the coined athlete, student athlete here at USF.
Like, do you think people and like professors and students can separate you from the game ever, or is it always you as a player?
It's always me as a player. It's also kind of why I hide my British accent, same kind of reason. It's just people always ask like silly British questions, and I get very, very annoyed at it. So I turn American, and it works.
California, even though there is a good amount of like African American black folk in California in general, it's just like you have to look for it. It's not as easy as it would be to just like step out your front door.
I want to say in some of my pre-med classes, definitely, because they are more bigger classes and it means more students there. It's just kind of hard to make yourself kind of stand out, especially feel like you're kind of like invisible and behind. Like, for example, like even just like raising your hand in class, it's kind of like you feel like you get avoided a lot in class when trying to ask a question just to understand a concept even more. And when they try to go to other students amongst themselves to ask the questions, it seems like they just don't want to talk to you. But when you see them talking to other people, helping each other out, it makes you feel excluded.
So in ballet, you know, you're supposed to wear like a bun. So it was my birthday, and so I got like really long, really thick like boho braids. They were like very long, you know, down to my waist. And I was already feeling like hesitant. I'm like, oh, I'm about to go to class with these braids. I'm the only black girl in the class, like one of the only black girls in the class. And I'm just like, how's this gonna go? So I put my hair in ponytails. I've seen other girls in the class have a ponytail, and it's around the same length as my ponytail. Mine is just a little bit more fuller. It's just a lot more going on. So this day in particular, when we're doing spins, and we're on the bar and I'm spinning, my professor makes a huge like scene about my hair, because when I spin, my hair like spins with it. And so I thought I hit her by the way that she was like, oh, like I thought I hit her with my hair. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like did I hit you with your hair? I'm so sorry. She's like, no. This is what I'm talking about. Like this is what and I'm like, talk about? What do you mean? So she's like, I just don't want you to get tangled up. Like, can you put it in a bun? Like, can you put it in a bun? I was like, yeah, like, no worries, I can put it in a bun. So putting my hair in a bun, And the whole class turns around and they're just watching me like I'm a spectacle or something, like I'm just watching me. It's like, is that gonna be enough? Like, are you sure it's gonna hold? So I have to leave in the middle of the thing to just like go outside and talk to my mom because like I'm frustrated and I'm just like, I hate feeling like this. Like, I'm tired of feeling like this.
So as like a member or board member of clubs here, I know that within our Black student organizations that there's always a place for me, and those are places I feel accepted, but that USF is not the driving force behind those. And I think that is a step that needs to be taken for students to feel accepted, not just in those Black spaces, but in every space on campus.
And so my question is, are y'all gonna try to get to know that community, or are you just gonna make decisions for them without knowing anything about them? You have to do all that you can to learn about the communities that you want to help, that you want to serve, no matter what. And don't try to play this savior role. Get to know your neighbors. Get to know the people on your campus. Speak to them. Even if they're different from you, try to get to know them.
Each student has their own experience based on how valued they are by the institution and how valuable they are for the institution. And I think that shouldn't necessarily be something that varies.
Put your best foot forward regardless and be authentic. I feel like USF really caters towards those who really want to show their full self. And when it comes to organizations, even though there may not be so many of us in all of our organizations here at USF, it's best to like be the start.
But as a freshman, this is the time where everybody's in the same boat. Everybody is, getting to know somebody. Find different organizations that you can get involved with if you feel like, oh, I see this is like a really big PWI, it may be hard for me to stay connected. You have to find ways to stay connected with your community and do that work.
Whether you're a freshman or you're a transfer, would be to not let any percentage or any stat define where you go or what orgs you join, because at the end of the day you need to find those communities and you need to be supported by those communities, and they are there to support you. So get into those right away. Whether you feel like you belong, you will fall into where you fit.